So she sends the team out of the room to get their food or whatever, and she stands up and has a big sliding door. She closes the door and says, "Okay, buddy, here's the deal. Here's why you're actually here."
We are with Gene Crawford, the founder of Period 3 Web Development Services here in Columbia, South Carolina. We're at the Growth Summit. That's our beautiful setting today. Behind us, there's a whole conference going on with people learning all about entrepreneurship. Gene, for everybody's knowledge, give a little scale. You've got 100 clients at Period 3. You've been around 20 plus years.
Yes,
yeah.
20 plus years.
And you guys are a staple to the Columbia community when it comes to web services.
I hope they think of us that way.
Absolutely. No, and you've given so much back to the community with SoCo and other projects that you've been involved in.
That's awesome.
So I want to talk about clients, and we all love our clients. So we always want our clients to be happy. We're always pushing for that.
Right.
But to the story you were telling me, we push, we get involved in a lot of other projects, and sometimes we can get ahead.
Yeah,
or
get lost. Get lost. Yeah. So in this case, I was working with probably 4 or 5 different companies we're creating or involved in. They were, for me, maybe not for a lot of people, for me, significant in terms of my focus and attention and money and stuff. And we had this one client that for us was pretty large. We'd done a good amount of work for them based out of Tennessee, and I'd kind of taken my eye off the ball, just spread myself way too thin. That's a hard lesson to learn.
That is,
and you often learn that lesson the hard way.
Right.
And so there was a moment where I realized that it had this relationship had gone to shit, because we'd brought half the team up. And we were going to have this really cool meeting with really great hamburgers and all this barbecue that she'd got set up. And, we were just sitting there about to talk about the work we'd done. And, I didn't know I was just making stuff up. I didn't know what actually the team had done.
Yeah.
I was like, I hope they deliver. So she sends the team out of the room to get their food or whatever. And, she stands up and has a big sliding door. She closes the door and says, "Okay, buddy. Here's the deal. Here's why you're actually here. You suck. You haven't delivered. We've paid you guys a lot of money, and basically, Gene, you're screwed." Wow. And I was like, ugh.
Yeah. That hurts. It hurt. It's crazy. People don't understand
scary.
How much.
Yeah. And then it hurt.
Yeah. You don't want it at all.
Yeah. And so threat of lawsuit and all this stuff, and I wanted to just crawl under the desk and just leave, because I was, while I taken my eye off the ball, I was still kind of in my own mind enough to realize that I couldn't blame anyone else. I mean, it's my fault. Like, I'm responsible. I'm the person that owns the company or whatever. Ultimately, it's me. Yeah. My butt's on the line.
Yeah.
So what do we do? So that's one of those moments where, do you run or do you just kind of like figure it out? And
you had mentors helping you kind of think through this.
Yeah, and that's a good point. Because right about then, I realized I was spreading myself too thin and was looking, like as any good, I think, business owner, entrepreneur would do, they're going to look for help. They're going to look for a community. They're going to look for something or someone they could learn from.
Agree.
And I'd found this really great mentor. He's a Navy SEAL, retired Navy SEAL at the time. He was also a beginning entrepreneur at the time. That's kind of how we got to know each other. And he was teaching me things like, how to have courage, for real, not in in the sense that he had experienced early on for him, but in like a business sense, and courage isn't just running into the line of fire into a burning building. It's also standing up to that person who's telling you suck and what are you going to do. With him, it wasn't, I think with any good mentor, it's not just like one bit of advice he gave me. It was more like watching the way he lives and watching the way he does things, and then me wanting to emulate that just because I respected him or whatever.
Sure.
I think that's the way you really learn from a mentor. You know? Not so much them just giving you one-to-one advice.
That's right.
But in watching him and how he approached things and listening to his stories really influenced me. And that was a moment where I drew upon my relationship with him, not by help, I need help, but more like what would he do?
Right.
You know, what would he do in that moment? And,
That's right.
and he would. It's not about standing your ground and standing up to this person, because I'd made the mistake, so I had to take the responsibility for the team because I wasn't paying attention. But it was more about like, now I have to talk to this person. This is a person.
Right.
Like I have to talk to them, negotiate. What are we going to do? Because I don't want the worst case to happen.
Right.
You know.
Right.
So we made a deal and we just worked our way out of it with hard work.
Yeah.
Hard work is what got us out of that. You know?
Right. Well, and I think too, the idea of you made a commitment, you got a little strung out, and then you got dialed in and you focused back in and said, hey, we're going to make this right. We're going to figure it out. We're going to deliver for you.
That's right. And we did.
So, yeah. At the end of the day, the moral of the story.
Hey, you're still here.
You made it.
Yeah, 20 years.
I love it. Thanks for sharing that with
man.
us. Thanks, Gene. If you've liked any of these stories on Entrepreneur Studio, please give it a like and share it with a friend.